Yes, yes, the Casanovians. Yes, yes, the Casanovians. So, I've just went to have a much needed haircut. I'm really enjoying the new trim. And then I was about to get a taxi home, and then I had this strong impulse to go to the mall and get some new vests. And this is actually a way of living that I almost just unconsciously constructed, whereby I take immense joy out of everyday activities. So like I called a taxi to pick me up from the barbers, and then I had this sudden impulse where I was like, dude, I'm in Bangkok. I'm literally in Bangkok, certainly one of my most favorite cities in the world. And even for me, like living this international lifestyle, I find it very easy to get stuck into a routine. I like routine, I like structure, but too much of a structure, it can start to make me feel stifled. It can start to make me feel boring. Like, okay, got my haircut, get back to my apartment. I've got a couple of longer form videos that I want to make today. So I've got like the new camera set up and using proper microphones, because I've noticed on a couple of these live streams the audio has been sketchy, and I wanna clean that up and just make better production pieces so you boys can actually enjoy watching them. These live streams are more just like unfiltered raw authenticity, and I think they give me a nice emotional connection with you. But the first thing that I wanted to just gift you today was just to start taking immense joy in everything that you do on a daily basis. There's a 1 in 400 trillion chance of us being born, and I think it's so easy to get swept away in the tide of routine. Maybe you're in the position that I was in 4 years ago, where you work in a job that you hate in a city that you despise, and you start to live on autopilot. I remember when I used to commute from Leeds to York to my old job at the National Railway Museum. I would get up at the same time, I would get the same train, I would talk to the same people, I would do the same work, and things started to become started to stagnate, and I had to make a conscious effort to just feel alive again. I've noticed that in myself recently. Everything that I do is done to feel alive. Like, I believe that everything that we do as human beings, we do it for the feeling that it gives us. So, at 18 years old, I did my first solo skydives. I did that for the feeling. At 13 years old, I started practicing and performing magic. I did that for a feeling. Then at 23 years old, I did my first direct daytime call approach. And I do believe that whether it's going to the gym, making money, spending time with good people, I think we're all doing it for a certain type of feeling. For me, I call it godly frequency, whereby, oh, that was tight. I wake up every morning with like this clean slate, and it's up to me to touch the bedrock of consciousness and to elevate my state to this place of agape or love, where I'm just operating this high frequency state. I've got no stress anymore. All I feel is joy and greatness and peace and tranquility, and that's where I do my best work. So I just thought, like, I'm gonna walk to the BTS, the train. I'm gonna do this live stream. I'm just gonna take immense pleasure in the pursuit of doing. So it's just like, yeah, let's have this mini adventure in Bangkok. Let's enjoy the sights. Let's express gratitude for actually being here, rather than constantly focusing on the next win to stack or the next mountain to climb. Let's just enjoy this, because this is all we've got, right? Just enjoying this moment and almost forcing myself to really tap into what I've got right now. Like, we never get the same moment twice. I'm never gonna get this moment again. I guarantee I'm gonna look back in 10 years time and these are gonna be the good old days. These are gonna be the best days of my life. So I don't wanna miss the train, if that makes sense. And I think oftentimes we do forget that. We forget that our time on this earth does have an expiry date attached to it. And I think it's easy, especially when you get started in entrepreneurship, you become a high achiever, you've got a certain lifestyle that you want to maintain. I think it is easy to just keep getting swept away in endless to-do lists and tasks, and I don't know, for me, it started to take the fun out of why I got started in this thing in the first place. Just reconnecting with that child inside of me, do you know what I mean? Just reconnecting with the child, pulling my phone out, making a live stream, talking about topics that excite me, just giving, hopefully, immense value to you. Like, I make these live streams every day, as much as from the point of view of content marketing, of getting you to a place where you know, like, and trust me enough to apply to join my network, the Entourage. That's because complete transparency on my part. I always get annoyed when people are like, oh, I just make these videos for the greater good of humanity. Nah, dude, everyone who's making content is trying to sell something. I'm just transparent about it. But the other reason why I make it is these videos make me feel good. They get me into a high frequency state. And hopefully a byproduct of that is it helps get you into a high frequency state as well. And the topic of this video, which I should probably cover before people start getting annoyed, I've noticed that there are types of men who, no matter what they do, they will never live an abundant dating life. No matter what they do, they will never attract the women that they want. No matter what they do, they will always have a repulsive energy. And these people are energy vampires, negative people, people who just want to sit around and complain about how difficult their lives are, how much of a sorry state the current sexual marketplace is. And like, these type of people who just want to criticize and complain about women, and the sort of people who come across my videos and they see somebody like me who's actually putting the reps to improve himself, doesn't have a problem with putting himself out there to the world, putting his balls on the line, showing people that there is a better way. The way you start is not the way that you finish. The way that you've always been doesn't have to be the way that you're always going to be. And when I make these videos and I put those infield montages out there and I show guys, hey, you don't need to swipe away on a screen. You don't need to hang around grotty nightclubs. You don't need to strategically try and attract women through your social circle. You can actually just grow a big set of balls, live a life free from bullshit, and go after what you want, rather than settling for what you think you can get. And still, there will be people who find negatives in what I do. Oh, dude, like going over to women, that's low value. Oh, dude, you're such a simp. You're such a simp for going over and giving women compliments without needing anything in return. Oh, dude, like, why are you wasting your time? Oh, this is so low value. And what they don't understand is the reason why women don't want to date them, the reason why they're living a dry dating life where they walk into a room and no one wants to talk to them, the reason why they're addicted to Minecraft or fucking Fortnite is because of their mindset. It's because of the way that they perceive the world. It's because the beliefs that they harbor in their mind, this perpetual state of negativity, that's the reason why these types of men are never going to live an abundant dating life until they fix the only thing that actually matters, which is their mindset. It's not about how much money that you make. It's not about the car that you drive. It's not about the watch that's on your wrist. It's about your inner belief that you're actually worthy of receiving love from the feminine, and in actually viewing intersexual dynamics not as competitive, but as collaborative. Like, it never ceases to amaze me that when we strip it all back, what we're all striving for is love. That's what we all want. And I think once you've actually come to that conclusion and you recognize that everything that we're doing is for, I believe, that sensation of love, that sensation of wholeness, that sensation of abundance, then things start to change, because you understand that this is an game that we're playing. Perception is reality. As a man thinketh, so is he. So if you're somebody like many of the members of my family, and I used to be very negative as well, if you're a perpetually negative person and you complain, you criticize other people, you're sending all of that bad karma out there into the world. And it's no wonder why you're dry. It's no wonder why no woman wants to date you. It's no wonder why you've got no friends and you've got no opportunities. It's not because of your upbringing. It's not because of the money you have in the bank. It's not because of how symmetrical or not symmetrical your face is. It's because of the way that you perceive the world. One of my favorite quotes is, what do I believe to be true about the world that isn't? Yeah, we'll go over here. What do I believe true about the world that isn't? Because if you're consuming a lot of negative pieces of content at the moment, where it's telling you, oh, if you want to live a great dating life, you need to spend the next decade becoming a high value man. It's all about looks, money, status. Build it and they will come. Or if you're watching other bullshit content from these weird pickup guys who are telling you, nah, dude, it's all about the push-pull vibe stack neg sequence. You need to learn lines, you need to learn routines, you need to learn these techniques, 5 steps to trick any woman into bed. And I do have empathy for guys these days because I think the internet space, especially when it comes to intersexual dynamics, is way off. And I think as somebody who's actually been practicing and preaching in this space for the past years, I like to think that my content makes the whole dating process feel stupidly straightforward. All this comes down to, if you want to attract a wife-worthy woman, a gob-smackingly gorgeous girlfriend, if you want to play the field, if you want to have a rotation, if you just want to use cold approach as the ultimate self-improvement exercise, all this comes down to is getting to a place where you actually like yourself. And then you operate from that place of self-adoration rather than self-deprecation. You accept that not every woman is going to sleep with you. But just because you don't get some doesn't mean that you won't get any. And when you understand, realistically, you only need one. You only need one woman to think that you are amazingly awesome. And you've essentially cracked the dating game. When you understand this, all the rest of the horseshit goes out the window. Now all you need to focus on is developing a big set of balls and relinquishing the negativity. Okay? The book Reality Transurfing can really help with this, with your overall mindset. Rather than placing excess importance onto things like, oh, I hope this approach goes well. Oh, I hope this girl likes me. Rather than going into every approach, experiencing the rejection in advance, why not err on the side of optimism? Why not ask yourself, what could go right? How great am I going to feel after doing this? Being action focused rather than outcome dependent. This is how you win. It's how you win in relationships, it's how you win in business, it's how you win the social game. It's having a big set of balls, it's going after what you want with unapologetic enthusiasm. It's not putting people on a pedestal. Even when you're consuming people's content, is this right? Is this true? What is truth? Truth is the end of inquiry. But I think there is no objective truth. It's just, is this true for me? Does this serve me? It's like religion, like religious texts. I think all religion should be a bridge that take us closer to the divine. It's not about historical facts. Did Jesus walk on water? Did the Buddha really exist? It's, do these teachings actually serve us? Do these teachings allow us to become better masculine role models, better leaders, better fathers? That's why it's important that you boys start becoming critical thinkers. Trust nobody, question everything, believe nothing. Go out, field test this stuff. Get 100 direct cold approaches done, ASAP. The reason why I champion cold approach so much is because it forces you into stepping outside of your current self. Okay, understand this. Avoidance amplifies anxiety. Action alleviates it. The reason why you're probably festering in negativity and self-deprecating thoughts right now is because you're not doing enough. You're just not doing enough. You're consuming more than you're creating. You're in this perpetual pit of avoidance. You already know what you need to do. I get these bullshit questions on a daily basis. Oh, Kristian, if I want to go over and approach a girl, but there's lots of people watching, can I still approach her? Oh, Kristian, if a girl's walked past me, can I still go over and talk to her? Oh, Kristian, I don't know the best open to use. Dude, you already know the answers. You already know all you need to do is go over, say something, because belief follows action. You've seen me do it thousands of times. The only difference between me and you is I put more reps in than you have. Yeah, if you look at a guy who's got a better body than you, The only separating factor is he's just put more reps in than you have. That's all it comes down to. It's a game of reps. If you look at anybody who's got more money, who's dating a hotter girl, who's living a cooler lifestyle than you, it's simply because they're doing more than you are, or they know things about the world that you don't. But the biggest differentiator that I've found is action. Getting out there, stopping yourself from getting stuck to these self-limiting thoughts like, oh, I'm not enough. Oh, why would a woman like her ever want a guy like me? Oh, well, I got bullied as a child, so that's going to dictate my reality. Dude, it's all in your head. As soon as you understand that mantra, it is all in your head. Nothing is real. You can have anything that you want. And in fact, the universe, and I learned this from one of my millionaire friends, and it changed everything for me. He sat me down in Stockholm over the summer, and he said to me, Kristian, the universe already wants to give you everything that you want. You just have to be willing to go after it. Yeah? So the way that I've completely transformed my identity from a porn addict who had £24.80 to a universal credit in my bank account, broke as a joke, live in that grotty apartment. And again, you can go back, you can watch my videos from 4 years ago. I'm not talking out my ass. This is literally where I used to be. I used to be so terrible talking to camera. I always came across as so unnatural because I was scared of what the world was going to think of me. Going from who I was to who I am today, it's very simple. It's not easy because it's going to require a complete overhaul of your current character, your fitness, your beliefs, your mindset, the people you're spending time with, your current environment. It's going to require, like, this is going to be the biggest transformation of your life. That's why I don't want to sugarcoat it. Like, when guys come and work with me, I don't portray this as, oh, this is going to be so easy, just show up and get results. No, this is going to be big. This is going to require a complete overhaul. You need to be prepared to give this everything that you've got and more, because you'll get out this process what you're prepared to put into it. But you understand that the way we win at the game of life, we don't chase the goal, we chase an identity. Who do you need to become to live the life you want to live? Then you prioritize the behaviors over the belief, because belief follows the actions. So you get a clear idea of who you want to be. You make your actions align with your ambitions, and you are relentless. You are relentless with it. And then you can apply principles from reality transurfing, which prevents you from essentially mentally burning yourself out and becoming too needy in the pursuit of your goals. So imagine you want to make $1 million. If you're super needy about money, money will always evade you because you need it too much. When you need something that is outside of you to feel whole, this excess importance creates an emotional imbalance, and it puts you into a state of lack. And then when you operate from that place of lack, you operate from scarcity. So rather than saying, I want, you say, I commit. Yeah? Rather than wanting something, you commit to something. And you don't commit to the shiny object. You don't commit to the amount of money. You don't commit to the type of woman. You don't commit to the body. You commit to the actions. You commit to the identity. Who do you need to become? What do you need to do on a daily basis to go from where you are right now to where you want to be? And it's by making this commitment to yourself. If you download my free course, it's called My Most Fuckable Man course. It's a fucking great course, completely free. All my courses are free, all my videos are free. I give away information and I charge for implementation. Meaning that when you've got to a point where you're like, you know what? I like this guy. I want to travel the world with him. I want to get mentored by him one-to-one. I want to join his community. Then that's what the Entourage is for. But in my free course, my Most Fuckable Man course, I lay out a formula. A simple, easy to understand, easy to implement formula, which is called the Personal Renaissance document. And in that document, you will learn how I rewired my entire internal belief system, how I transcended my self-limiting beliefs, and how I unlocked the life that I committed to 4 years ago. Like 4 years ago, this was my dream life. I wanted to be living internationally. I wanted to become the best in the world at what I did. I wanted to have the best client results in the industry. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be free. I knew I didn't want to be working that dead-end 9 to 5. I knew I didn't want to be living in Leeds. I knew I didn't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. I knew I didn't want to be asking my boss's permission every time I wanted to go for a shit. I wanted freedom. Freedom from bullshit. And now, my current reality was once upon a time my dream reality. And that's why I started off this stream saying gratitude. Actually enjoying the fruits of our labor. Because if we don't express gratitude for what we've got right now, we've got no chance of receiving more. And that's what scarce people do. People who have negative, scarce mindsets, all they want to do is focus on what they don't have. Complain about, oh, rich people are evil, money's the root of all evil. And then they'll get that sour grapes mentality when they know they want to be living in abundance, but they're too scared to go after it because of their programming. Right? As soon as you understand, you are brainwashed. We're all brainwashed. But it's deciding what you want to get brainwashed by. Every day I'm brainwashing myself with delusional optimism and irrational confidence. On a daily basis, I go back and I listen to testimonials that my clients have given me over the years. And that'll rekindle enthusiasm for what I do. Because, dude, I'm like anybody else. I have my dark days. I have moments when I doubt myself. I have moments when I'm thinking, fuck, do I still have it? So I need to brainwash myself. I need to go back, listen to my client testimonials, check in with my clients on our group coaching calls, listening to the wins that are being stacked every single week, reminding myself of who I actually am, referring to myself like I actually matter, like I am the most important person on the planet, because it's just as objectively true to think you are the most important person on the planet, to think you're the biggest piece of shit on the planet. Perception is reality. Even if it's not true, we make it true by believing in it. This is a mental game. All these bozo coaches online who are teaching cold approach. Oh, how to stand, what to wear. Oh, you need to be a bad boy. You need 3 days before sending her a message. You don't want to come across as too needy. Dude, I'm like, these bozos do not understand. It's like the blind leading the blind. When you actually become transcendent by following the steps I outline in my Most Fuckable Man course, you realize none of that bollocks actually matters. It's not who you are. Sorry, it's not what you say. It's not how you say it. It's who you are when you say it. But I've been meditating on that line recently. And I think what's a more poignant, nuanced way of expressing that is it's not what you say. It's not how you say it. It's who you believe yourself to be in that moment when you say it. It's who you believe yourself to be in the moment when you say it. And this comes from positive brainwashing. This comes from creating this personal renaissance document, which I outline in my free course. This comes from committing to an identity. And dude, I'm 27 years old and I'm so grateful that I've learned this stuff at this age, because all of this information I implement into my coaching program. Everything that I'm learning, all of the coaching and the events and the masterminds that I'm going to, like I've spent now over, I would say $100,000 on my own self-education, getting coached, getting mentored, going to events, because I understand my level of net worth will never exceed my level of personal development. That's what all of this is about, and that's why I love the thing that I do. Cold approach is not just about getting women. It's about getting to a place where nothing phases you anymore. Yeah, you get to this level of amused mastery where it's like, yeah, cool, women come and go, friendships fade, some months I'll make more money, some months I'll make less money, some days I might not feel it, other days I might feel great. It's just being in this constant state of ease where I'm able now to just go with the flow, enjoy life, not view problems as problems, but view them as obstacles, view them as challenges that I get to overcome. You probably heard that adage, the obstacle is the way. And dude, when you have this mindset, when you actually understand that there is nothing inherently negative, nothing is good nor bad, it's the thinking that makes it so. And the reason why, or one of the reasons why people get negative and people get upset is because of deviations from plans that they made. So imagine that you wanted to take a girl to a park this Saturday and then it started pissing it down with rain. Most people would get upset by that because there is a deviation from the plan. A deviation doesn't need to be negative. It just is. Okay, it's raining. So what are you going to do about it? How can you turn this into the best thing that could ever have happened? That's my mindset. Whenever things go wrong, quote unquote wrong in my life, my initial response now is, how can I make this the best thing that could ever have happened? Let's say a girl leaves me. Let's say I lose all my money. Let's say a piece of content that I put my heart and soul into absolutely bombs and gets like 2 views. How can I turn this into the best thing that could ever have happened? And when you actually have this mindset where there is nothing good or bad, there is no negative, it's just your perception of it, that's how you become emotionally bulletproof. And that's how you start to get away from this negative thinking. You get away from being a victim. Because as soon as I started taking radical responsibility for my own life, it stopped me from being a victim. Because I used to be a victim. I used to be a low-life loser. I used to think everyone was out to get me. And as soon as I shifted my thought to radical responsibility, the reason why I used to be a porn addict, the reason why I used to have erectile dysfunction, the reason why I used to stack shelves in Iceland supermarket in Barrow-in-Furness was because that was what I had made myself into. That was my fault. Where I was exactly where I deserved to be, because I learned in life we don't get what we deserve. We get what we think we deserve. So where we are right now, it's all our fault. Your bank balance, your dating life, the thoughts that you hold, it's all your fault. All of it. And that can be positive or negative depending on where your headspace is. If I understand everything is my fault, it allows me to take radical responsibility, to stop being a victim, and to go from scarcity to a desire to actually do something about it. What's the next practical thing that I can do to feel more in control? For you, that might be going out today and doing a direct call approach. Doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter if you get a phone number. Doesn't matter if you get quote unquote blown out. Doesn't matter if she gives you a weird look. You're action focused rather than outcome dependent. You view it as a stepping stone to becoming the person, the version of you that you need to be. So what I would suggest that you do after you've watched this is link in the comments, download my Most Fuckable Man course. I've got 2 courses. I've got Conversation Killer, which teaches you how to cold approach, but more importantly, my Most Fuckable Man course. I'll give you my entire roadmap to rewiring your entire internal belief system. There's also a module in there about how to make money online, how to live an international lifestyle. It's a lot more simple than you probably think. Everything that you could possibly need when it comes to living an abundant dating life and unlocking the skill of daytime call approach, I put them into those 2 courses. These are the courses that I wish were available for me when I first started. They're completely free. I want you to have them. And the reason why I want you to have them, full transparency, is when you eventually reach out to work with me, I already want you to have the foundations in place. It makes my life easier. If you apply to work with me, let's say in 2 or 3 months, and you've already downloaded the courses, you've already created your personal renaissance document, you've already gone out and took action in regards to cold approach, then it's going to make our time together way more enjoyable, way more effortless, because the foundations are already there. So get those courses, get the foundations in place, and then when you're ready to pull the trigger, level up, get surrounded by high frequency individuals, guys who are crushing it with women, with the social game, with business, guys who you can actually travel the world and cold approach with. And that's what the Entourage is for. That's what my private community is for. So link below, download my courses, gobble them up, and just stop being so negative, man. That's probably the best thing that I can say to you at the end of this stream. Just get rid of this negativity. It serves you no purpose. And the more negative you are, the more you push things away, the more repelling your energy becomes. You probably met people in your life who just give you the ick, who you have a conversation with them and you just feel emotionally drained after finishing that conversation. These are energy vampires. And we need to do everything within our power to get away from these people, because they will program you with mind viruses. They will tell you things about the world that they believe to be true. And if you spend too long around these people, you'll start to mirror their beliefs. So I've always liked that adage, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. We've all heard it before. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that's why I'm super selective about who I decide to spend my time with, the content that I consume, the places that I go. Because I understand we're very susceptible, we're very programmable. So I want to be brainwashed by positivity. I want things and people and places that nourish my soul. That's why I'm in Bangkok in December. I don't want to be in the fucking UK in December when it's freezing cold, it's storming. And I just found a lot of negativity in the UK. So I'm not going to be there because I respect myself enough to put myself into a beautiful climate, beautiful weather, beautiful people. This is what I say to you boys all the time. It's deeper than day game. Yeah, cold approach was a catalyst for the rest of my life. Cold approach was the thing that allowed me to develop that core rock star confidence, which gave me the belief that I could do anything that I set my mind to. Cool, I can do something that the majority of men are never going to be able to do in their lives. I can become really fucking good at it. So good, in fact, that I can actually teach this to other people and make a career out of it. And as soon as I did that, I'm like, the world's mine. Yeah, the world's mine. And that energy is infectious. That allows me to experience success in advance. It allows me to err on the side of optimism. Even in my dark days, throw me in hell, I'll find a way to enjoy it. One of my favorite quotes, Ikkyu Sojun, legend, Japanese guy. Throw me in hell, I'll find a way to enjoy it. So this has been a long live stream. I don't know if anybody's been watching it, but fucking hell, man. This has been like one of my favorite streams that I've done. I've loved making this. Like, just so spontaneous, just like, was meant to be getting a taxi. I was like, fuck it, let's go to the mall. And then just making a cinematic adventure out of it. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the mall, I'm gonna get my vests. If you've enjoyed this stream, then definitely drop it a like. Hope that you've enjoyed it. And like I said to you, underneath, get the course, or courses. And I'll speak with you boys again tomorrow. Love ya. Mwah.